And now it's time to see a little bit of action. Welcome back to the ALGS, everybody. The new season is upon us. The dropship is live, and Storm Point in all of its beautiful pastel skyline is going to be where we start things off, Dan. Contests are going to be pretty hot at the start of this one. We'll have to see who comes out on top.
Suddenly my eye line goes elsewhere. What's going to happen at checkpoint? What's going to happen at wall? Because there are contests happening, and here it is at wall. It's VQ versus Red Dragon.
Yeah, Red Dragon going in, and VQ going to be already with Kings down, so it doesn't look like maybe there is actually going to be a trade going down. So this contest, which has been going on in scrims for weeks and weeks and weeks, well, it's not finishing here in the Pro League as well. Kashera gets a little bit of damage, but do they have the man advantage? You would imagine so, from the fact that they're both quite happy to double push this door down. It seems like they do have an advantage, and sends 4 seconds till that Q's back on Conduit as well to get those shields back.
I was about to say, here it is. There's and it almost saves, but not quite quick enough. And now suddenly it's going to be advantage to RD. They have a 2 versus 1, and they should be able to finish it up. Or can they? As Kashera bites back.
Kashera trying to escape, trying to use those knockdown shields, but he's not going to be able to do it. And one team to watch who's made those big changes over the offseason, we thought might be a contender, won't get to play too much Apex Legends in game number 1. It's going to be Red Dragon who come out on top, and VQ, they're going to have to just take a little nap here and think about map number 2. You're right. The mobile respawn is going to be in the backpack, which means they can get him back in. And now the push is coming in, that they see that opportunity as the 2v3. And just a reminder as well, dropping out the dropship now, you're going to have that armor that you had previously. You're also going to have the weapons, not the attachments, but you can fight now. It's not like you're that sitting duck. Down on the southern side of the zone, you can see Orgless N Hungry has somehow made their way through as they're trying to now push this fight. If they can win this fight, then they might be in a position to take away one of the god spots. But there is one player going down. Unlucky flies in extremely aggressively there, Dan, and might have just given away that first knock a bit too easily.
Yeah, Aftermath trying to do what they can to respond in this fight. It's a 1 versus 1 now, potentially, and it is going to be Aftermath who come out on top. Down, but 07 are holding a good spot here, but they might be joined very shortly.
Here comes the push then. They're trying to hold it down. You saw a couple more teams being eliminated in the meantime. Full English, 2 rounds, 1 controller. They have gone as well. Naski is down, but there's Amphi to close things out. Mine, though, are going to be taken down. 07 will be eliminated as the nades do come in, and it's Alliance, the last of the party, but the ones who are going to be celebrating the most. They can take control of the northern side of the zone.
So LVH are the only team in circle right now.
However, you can be in circle, but Effect has got a wingman, and we know that gun from the package is a problem for anyone who tries to get in the way of it, and that's what happens. Effect goes in and just mows down the majority of the shields. There's the cleanup crew coming in for Alliance. 8 seconds till the zone starts to move, though. Alliance are going to have to keep moving here. That fight is not going to be the end of it for them.
Yeah, Outplayed are starting to join this fight. Aftermath also taking a look at it. Alliance just need to stay healthy, get those shield swaps. They finally take down Infinite, and I don't think Outplayed closed that gap quick enough to be able to push this fight. So Alliance will get a second to reset. Even with the barrages happening around them, they should be able to survive. But now, with 40 seconds until round 5 closes, they have to move westward, but they are getting griefed by all sorts of grenades.
Oh my goodness, they are getting absolutely decimated by grenades, as frags, as thermites, and that will be the end of them. Yeah, this is an interesting final circle, isn't it? 50 seconds left until the zone starts to close. You're starting to look across what teams have ultimates available, what teams are going to have the wall available, and I love this play call coming in from LVH. They want to clear this side of zone. They got some initial damage, but initial damage doesn't matter when you get shredded down. You get absolutely put on your back. And now LVH, having made that initial call and made that initial play, are relying on Life into move in and clean up the damage, and he's not going to be able to do so. LVH, it was a smart play, it was a good play, but the counter play was even better, as now we see the final teams move in.
Yeah, Outplayed and Aftermath are now going to be fighting each other as well, so this is going to be a straight 3v3 on the southern side, which will allow No Days Off to reset, but already one has fallen. Shex has gone down. Jack's trying to stay alive and also has a lot of help on the Bangalore here as well. Great damage from the Vault, and now we have 2 squads, but No Days Off. Now they move in.
It's a 2v2. They didn't manage to get that res in time. The Kraber might be the difference maker, but not going to connect with the first shot. Can't get the finish either. There was an opportunity, but it was not taken. And now you have to feel this is going to be the end of the game. It's ANC Outplayed, who are your first champion here on Stormpoint.
We go to where the storm is heaviest, right into the eye, as we kick off with, yes, another contest.
We'll have to see whether they'll be able to get a better fight this time, but it looks like maybe RD are saying, oh, yep, we've lost one. We're getting out of here. They can craft the banner because they have the support legend to be able to do so. And Vam and Correa were able to get the better of them this time, and they will assert a little bit more dominance.
But No Days Off specifically, second place in that match we just saw, Dan, really impressed me so far.
Yeah, being able to quickly move in those early games to get into that western position, but now are they going to be able to move quick enough fighting Mind here at North Pad? That means Mind left checkpoint and instead moved over to North Pad, so that's an interesting decision. You already had a contest happening. Well, it's worked out for them as Mind will wipe out No Days Off. It all starts here in the early days here of Pro League. You have to find consistency, you have to be gelling as a squad, as there's a lot of commotion going down underneath checkpoint actually, and it looks like Stay Healthy will be taking this fight, and they are staying healthy. They're a player up right now.
Nice shots from the Volt. Though pushing it as well over the knockdown shield. Can't quite finish it off. The R301 will do it. And that's another 3 kills. Mind going down after that early engagement with No Days Off. They've been forced into the rotation, and Stay Healthy have stayed just that.
It's just so risky to take these fights with so many teams in the area, and I think they know it. They saw the teams that were coming from the southern side. Elsewhere, AM taking the fight. Karev being the last player remaining goes down. So do ExoClan. Aftermath fall too. We've seen 3 squads just fall in the space of merely seconds. Now Alliance, who were moving north, say, okay, well, if you're retreating, let's suddenly push south. Let's get this KP is 40% worse. Eliminated. Shiv goes down. Cold also fall. Suddenly we're down to 11, Rainday.
And this doesn't seem like it was conservation. It seems like it was an awareness of what is going to happen as these teams have to rotate south, and Hockey's and Alliance have picked up on it. Really good use of inside that cover, but they know that that's where they have to go. Trying to find an opening. Although it's just not going to happen, but behind them comes trouble.
Alliance have poised themselves for perfectly. Alliance saw where the circle's going, and they say, if we control the southern side, we have a chance of winning this game. We just need to grief. We don't need to commit. Just hold the south side so no one's going to be behind us, and they do that job. They punished Orgless N Hungry, who are trying to desperately survive, but Unlucky will go down. So did 2R1C.
And now LVH, Red Dragons, Element 6, Infinite, and 1 member of 07 still alive, damn.
Yeah, so E6, Infinite, Red Dragon, 07, they're fighting on that eastern side, and it is going to be a right old skirmish over there. You have to try and stay as healthy as possible because there are so many teams. Infinite go down, but Case when he falls to a grenade, and now that will just be the chance for the other teams to be able to push in and finish off E6 here. Slav will try as he might, but it's not going to work out. 4 squads now, as Red Dragon will eliminate the last remaining player. But look at this again, LVH and Alliance fighting for prime position on the western side.
They've got to keep Yuki alive. He's the conduit. He doesn't have enough right now to get the shielding up, but that's a really good piercing. Spikes from Effect. Oh my goodness gracious, doesn't miss a bullet. Effect doing Effect things. Hockey's still alive with the red. He shows up and gets deleted. What was that? That was an instant delete button. How did that work? Oh my goodness. Red Dragon, I believe, and LVH with 07 now the only ones alive to make a move.
There's a cheeky Nasky in the lobby, hiding as a lone rat into the top 3, and still has a chance to potentially win this game if you play it right, because now RD are down to just 2. So are LVH, I believe. So Nasky needs to keep close, needs to have a little look in on this one to see if he can pick up some action.
Wifes, we mentioned him as one of the former members of Alliance. He's got a new squad now and something to prove. Will they prove it here? It's LVH, the final 2, and I think it's just Nasky who's going to show up and say hello. You guys want to cook? You want to make something? He's like, no, we got our meal prepared. We got the dub. LVH, your champion here in game 2 as we kick off our split.
You're going to be taking the fight on the wall, you'd imagine, and it's going to be an early shred with the Havoc as well, working in tandem with the Conduit just to make sure you get that gun early on.
Yeah, Havoc is going to be a very good gun to find. To be honest, any gun on contest is a good one to find, and you're going to see with the numbers advantage and a little bit of extra ammo, it should be a pretty easy job. But we said this before when we've seen VQ in this fight, and it didn't go their way. So let's see if they can be shouting Vamos after this one is done and dusted. They have got that initial knock, and they have the high ground, but can they be quick on collapsing now on the last player alive, which is going to be Kazakh?
Yeah, last time Red Dragon, they just retreated as a 2, but the fact that they've been able to get 2 knocks now means that they really dominated this fight. So they may have lost it in match number 1, but they've turned it around to make it a 2-1 victory across Storm Point. I think Vamo Korea will be very happy about that one. There's no days off. They've lost 1. As whether the 2 remaining players can actually do some damage. The Volt in the 2 times is not something I like putting together, but it can work in the right hands, and you can see it's doing some flesh damage there as well, but not enough to get that next knock. I think it's a 2v2 right now, but suddenly, just like that, wiped away on No Days Off, and it's unfortunately another game where they fall early after their early success in match number 1. They're gonna have to either take some fights, look for some KP here, or move soon. You can be the last to arrive as Liffin shreds for 180 and is just trying to get some extra knocks here and try and finish off this team.
Yeah, the damage is done, but the problem is Hanzo has gone down, but it's not going to be enough to really turn this fight on its head. Viv's going to get a pretty comfortable cleanup. And now find themselves safe in the zone. But with a team behind them, Nasky lines up the shot but can't connect, and now the pressure comes in, and that could be a difference maker here.
Could be a difference maker. Instant goes down to try and keep her alive, but Nasky now just trying to dip, dodge, dive, duck to stay alive as best as he can. Remember, he ratted out to the top 3 in the previous game. Will get a chance to reset with the bat and has a knockdown shield to work with. Elsewhere, all those teams from that northwest side are fighting now. Red Dragon, Aftermath, Stay Healthy, VQ, all looking at one another.
And who's inside the zone again? Right deep inside of it. It's going to be LVH. Team who are playing so well today as a unit, positionally and in those team fights. They're in a great spot. Aftermath eliminated as well. 11 squads now remaining. Hey, but look at 40% worse. This is their zone. This is where they were dropping, and now maybe they have an opportunity to put some points on the board.
And now E6, they were fine and dandy in the height, but now they have to drop and they have to join the engagement. Slap hits the Beast of the Hunt to try and get any extra vision. Does shred, but falls himself as 40% worse. They're eliminated, but E6, they stay alive and might be able to get Slap back on his feet.
But look who's trying to move in and clean it up. It's going to be Kinda and Orgless N Hungry. They see the opportunity to third party and take control of this southern side of the zone, and they're doing exactly what they did against LVH just a few moments ago. They want to own this zone. They want all the space they can find, and boy, they are doing a pretty good job of it. Cybercats will be eliminated, and now you can see the solo has an opportunity here, everyone, because Orgless N Hungry could do damage, and SH could do damage to Orgless N Hungry that might open the door for a little Swinny rat play.
Swinny in the top 3. And as you say, we've seen it happen before. We've seen rat plays still find victories, but mainly he's going to be looking to try and finish top 2 as now Dark Veils go down, just to give a little bit more coverage, a little bit of an ability to move here. But OH, they try and respond with some ults of their own, but E6 go down. K-Swinny's fallen. Now it's a straight 3v3.
Straight 3v3. The only problem is one team has extreme height, but they will have to drop in just a few moments' time. The Conduit always down as well. They're having to retreat to the other side of that Dark Veil, but the first knock comes in, and it's going to be Kinda who falls, but Orgless N Hungry will clean up the damage, and the team who have been through a lot in the last few days return to the fort here in EMEA. Their first win, continuing to show us they will be a contender in this split.
Or is it going to be more Orgless N Hungry continuing to stay at the top? We'll find out here as we start off with a nice contest at tree.
Yeah, it's going to be NDO and Mind who are going to be fighting here. A little spray through the smoke is going to do a huge amount of damage. The Conduit is probably the one legend I would say that if you can focus in a contest, focus the Conduit, because that means that the Q is going to be taken out of the equation. And it looks like at the moment, Mind might be able to win this one if they can hit some juicy longbow shots. It's not very often we get this raid day. It's a Sentinel versus longbow fight, and the Sentinel comes out on top.
My goodness, that is scary. Not the position you want to be in. One shot away from death and 2 snipers staring at each other. Sherbert representing no days off.
He hit it!
Mind.
Oh, he hit it!
Oh my, has been blown. Sherbert with the Sentinel. Oh, Mark, what a start.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care how good you are. We mentioned how the armors just weren't good for 40% worse. They're going up against Purple Shields and Tyler, who has been pretty much at the top of the kill leaderboards since the ALGS and EMEA got underway, and he does not need a second opportunity. Speaking of opportunities, 2Ras1 Controller trying to take their opportunity to work their way out from this congestion, which is happening in and around Lava Siphon at the moment. Jacko has gone down, but is he going to be resable, or will they have to play this one out as a duo? It looks like they have managed to get him back to his feet.
A lot of chaos continuing as we head back towards tree and the eastern side of things. In between that and launch site, outside of where the rotation has occurred, Orgless N Hungry still have 2. Maybe they have a mobile respawn beacon, might have been able to craft the banner, could see some heroics there, but right now we're following Element 6, who are creeping in on the hallway and looking to take the lead from Slab on the Bloodhound.
Big damage coming in. And Element 6 doing a great job of holding teams off, trying to output damage, and this is all about controlling space. This is what I was talking about. It's not just your building, it's the 20 or 30 yards surrounding it that you want to be in control with, and Swinny wants this done. He wants this finished. The hit point is pretty good, but it's not quite good enough, and now he's going to worry about the zone.
but they've got to survive. And ANC Outplayed, for all it's worth, Mark, they've done a hell of a job keeping this trailer intact.
They have, and in the meantime, they've held the trailer. Well, E6 have made their move. They've now moved to the north side. They've cleaned up one team. So 3 squads still remaining. ANC Outplayed are just waiting to see this damage being done. And now it's going to be their time to move in. Move from the truck and see if they can take the high ground away. Passion will fall in the meantime. It's E6 versus ANC Outplayed. And the question is, can they get the damage done, or will Shakes go down in the meantime? E6 look like they're on the back foot, but now they've turned it around here, Rain.
What a play from Cracked as well. Willem, the last one standing, when it is all E6. K Swinney with another I'm him moment. It's not the buy one blade, but this time he uses Bangalore's heirloom to seal the deal in our first game on World's Edge.
Yeah, this is where we're going to see teams really start to get a bit more aggressive if they're at the bottom of the leaderboards. Maybe we'll see some composition changes. Maybe a Revenant will turn up. Who knows? But there is going to be a fight happening. You can see LVH versus 07 going down. And as I say, go down, Liffen has fallen.
This is why LVH did not have a good game number 1 here on World's Edge. Very good on Storm Point, of course, goes without saying. But this is a very different proposition for them, finding 07 pushing them here over at Lava Fissure. And Lava Fissure has been where Nasky is called home for quite some time. Last season, he wants to continue it here. So 07 going to have to move in and finish off this damage and finish off these final 2 players. The Eva Ray is going to help that. Max is going to have that Q saved as well. So this should be just a case of finishing off the pieces. And it is. There you go. LVH have been eliminated. 07 made it a little bit ugly at the end, but doesn't matter if it's a little bit ugly as long as you get the job done. And will they rotate based off of the information that they do have available? But information is one thing, having a scrap is another, Dan, and Full English will be eliminated. And again, I think it's just a case of their fighting not being up to scratch today. They are still there at the moment, and they're trying to hold out teams moving through this vault tunnel. And one of those is going to be 2R1C that we see on our screen right now. The Conduit always going to slow things down. The barricade is a problem, as are Caustic Barrels. So if you wanted to find out how difficult a push this is and what Conduit can do in slowing things down, here is the opportunity to do so. However, the Horizon Q just takes them up and above and away from all of it.
Yeah, the energy barricade is so good, not only at slowing teams down, but it also works out, as it says, as a barricade. You can even hide behind it, and it takes damage for you at times if you're in the right position. But 2R1C, try as they might to do some damage through these thermites. They're just a 2 right now, but they have a chance to reset in the pills here.
Yeah, this is a 2v2. You can see the thermite going down as well, and Cold are still looking at this. So anyone who tries to cross their line of sight, they can get some shots on. Oh, the thermite is burning, is searing you to a medium well. And that is going to be the end of this fight, you would imagine. Shaco, please. Thank you. Manages to finish this one off, and 2 Rats 1 Controller will survive for now. As well, Alliance having a little sneaky look at this, but there's too many teams for them to overextend. And look at the north side. Is 40% worse? Can they improve their points total by 40% with a good game here? With the team in the priority position, the God spot is going to be cold. It's time for us to jump into our listening and see how they see out this end game.
These guys, we just win this game.
He's running now, he's running now.
Yeah, focus that more. I'm watching the right team.
They smoked me off.
They're dropping bats for each other, they don't have bats.
Yeah, I'm just chilling with my shots, bro.
He's behind the ping here. Cat skipped across.
Yeah, I'm 91 on my ult. I'm about to get my ult as well. 40 on 1.
You should get these kills on the right.
Yes,
Get a Horizon Q.
They're running up. No, we should have. Okay, yeah. We need to 3-pick kill this.
I'm bang on left.
Bang on left. Them join left.
Cut the guy behind the bin.
Kill 1.
I'm nading it.
I'm waiting for this bang ult.
Last team.
Did you hit that one?
Yeah, I'm walking up. I stun one. Horizon 1.
Yeah, I'm watching over you.
Bang 1.
I'm coming.
Last one.
Jake, he's almost tracked.
Yeah, just wait for me. I'm coming.
I'm waiting for you.
He's trying to
I'm coming. I'm gonna swing. Oh.
Good job. We got all.
Well, it's Cold in the end game, as Cold will win that game convincingly. You heard the listening there. I mean, Graceful, he was full of confidence on where that game was going to be ended and how it was going to be going down, and they showed that they can convert. It didn't feel like many teams really got that one right, Dan, and that really did cost them as we got towards that end game with Cold just sitting there pretty much on their own uncontested. But speaking of contests and being uncontested, that's not the case here over at Tree.
Yet Mind and No Days Off are having their fight yet again. I will note, Alliance are dropping very aggressively close by here, just to have a little peek if they would like to, but Mind ran away last time. They weren't able to get the better of No Days Off, but it looks like maybe, I was going to say Mind have got the better of them, but things slightly evened out here as it's going to be the Nemesis shredding through, and No Days Off are eliminated. 16 squads remain, but that 16 is probably about to become about 10 as this circle closes, because all of these teams on the eastern side are moving together. ExoClan, Infinite, Aftermath, Stay Healthy are all going to struggle to get in at the same time here. So this is where you really need to rely on your damage dealers to be outputting as much as possible. Keep your team healthy, keep teams at bay. As now you can see LVH are going to push in onto AM, but are they going to be able to get any knocks here?
This fight just keeps going on. The zone is going to be influenced in it. ExoClan eliminated in the meantime from 18 to 15, and you would imagine that's going to go down even more. But LVH should be able to reset here. They do have a little place to play, but they've got no one looking at them. But there's that wrap coming in as we see one player just trying to overextend to influence the fight, and that is exactly what it is going to do. Vibes will finish off the last one, but here come Full English, serving up the beans and giving them the beans as well.
As E6 are now getting aggressive onto 07. Nugs is struggling to stay alive, but it looks like E6 will be able to close that one out, close the fight out. 07 eliminated. E6 again continue to be at the top of this lobby. Yeah, maybe they'll still hold on to first, but it is going to be tight depending on what happens elsewhere. But it was that solo from Passion who really ruined their day, and now 40% worse are going to try and pick up that solo who had done so. Mandy will go down, but they should be able to get him back up because it is just a solo that was looking at them. But now Outplayed are wrapping from the north. Outplayed are going to find that solo, and they might be able to challenge 40% worse. How important could that gold knockdown be?
Yeah, sometimes you just don't think about that, right? You know, the quick reset comes in, you fight a guy who you think is just going to be, 10, 15 HP, and then all of a sudden it turns around. However, the spray from Shex is very, very nice. Now they're looking to move in and clean things up. That's exactly what they are going to be able to do. ANC Outplayed down to 2. There is still one alive, but where has he gone? They don't quite know where he's going to be, and now it's a 1v1. Surprise, surprise! It's completely turned on its head. Jax has got to be careful here. Cannot let this 1v2 happen. Doesn't let the 1v2 happen and will take down Shiv. They will control this side of zone. Unless Full English can do damage and force them off that high ground, that's exactly what they've done.
Or is it going to be who blinks first? This is something that happens in 3v3v3 as a team will try and make a play to either win the game or at least secure second place. And now engaging in this fight gives Outplayed the option to push when they want and maybe could give them the victory depending on what happens here.
It's such a good ult, and now they're going to be forced to back up. Unlucky will go down. Orgless N Hungry find themselves with 2 on their back. It's Matafe who has to stay alive now and try and influence this fight to force them into a second place, but they tried to take space down. I'm not sure if that was the right play for them to do.
Well, Full English, they were able to come out on top, but can they stay healthy? Because now Outplayed have taken the high ground. They've taken center zone, and they have abilities to work with as well, as now Shex and the rest of the squad just dealing damage out to what they can see through the smoke.
Have to move through this open ground, though, to try and finish off the fight. ANC Outplayed will take down Orgless N Hungry. Matafe will fall, and now it's a straight... I think it's only one player alive here to deal with. ANC Outplayed will move through that choke and will win our final game, and you get the feeling, Dan, that maybe with that win...